Right, back again. So in this lesson I want to look at this normals type that we have, this add normals to. In the last lesson you might remember that we used this normal node to create the normals on this piece of geometry, and at the moment we've got them set to point normals, which has given us this rather strange shading, and the reason is because these points are now pointing out into an average of these three sides, so it's going at an angle here, right? If I go into my primitives, that looks much more better and more what I would expect to see, of course, and this is now just using these faces as the direction of that normal. All right, just trying to get that back. The viewport went a little strange there, but remember that the vertices was the default. And when I go here between the vertices and the primitives, I can't see any difference, and that's because generally there isn't any. And it's due to this cusp angle. The cusp angle is looks at the angle between these two vertices, or these two vertices, right? And we can see it's 90 degrees. So let's push this above 90 and see if anything happens. Oh, there it goes. As soon as it gets above 90, it now averages these out, and we get exactly the same that what would happen with the points. So with the vertices, it gives me a number of options, because I can now use this cusp angle option to select the ones that I want, and it makes it a bit more versatile. So let's go back, because actually for a cube, I would say this one is the one that looks more correct. This one doesn't, right? So I want my cusp angle to be less than 90, and in fact anything that's less than 90 will work just fine in this particular case. Let's look at another example though. Let's look at a sphere. Okay, so create the sphere. I'm going to add some normals. I might as well create another node for that instead. All right. Whoa, looking cool. All right, so I'm going to remove these faces, the face normal indicators, and we can see that we're in vertices mode. I'm going to turn these off. I'm going to also remove my markers there. Okay, so we're back to the beginning. I might even remove my wireframes, I think. Where we going? There we go. Yeah, thank you. All right, and I can see it looks a little bit lumpy, and that's down to a resolution issue, so I need to add more resolution to this. Let's add a bit more here and here, make it a little bit smoother. All right, so it's a lot more smooth now. But what happens when I take these normals, and this time I'm going to, if I increase them I shouldn't get any difference, but if I decrease them, remember that the normals are pointing here, and we're trying to get the less than this angle here, which will be, I don't know, not much, maybe 10 degrees or something, just right. So I go down, oh, there we go. Now I've got a change. I was almost right there, actually. It was about 11 degrees. So yeah, it goes down. Can it go more and more and more? So it's got it's changing the points here, and obviously this one is a different angle, and as I go further down it creates another one. But let's look at what that looks like. How is that shaded? So it looks very low poly. Now you might want that look. If I increase it a bit more, I can see that it's just on the rows there, it's doing the same thing. It's creating these sharp lines. Nice. All right, if I increase that, it smooths it. So in this case, I want my vertex cusp angle to be much higher, because it will create the smooth effect. Whereas with the box, I don't want that smooth effect, because it needs to have sharp edges. It's a box, right? So it depends on the piece of geometry that you're using and working with, whether you want to have smoother surfaces or you want to have sharper edges. I should point out that the geometry itself doesn't change. It stays exactly the same. It's just the way that the light and the shading works on that piece of geometry to how it gives its final look. That's where the normal comes in. But the geometry itself doesn't change. It looks like it does, right? I do that and I go, oh, geometry's changed. It hasn't. It's just the way that it's been shaded has changed. Silhouette will be exactly the same. Okay. Hope that was useful. It wasn't an easy thing to explain. So if you have any comments, questions, criticisms, of course, leave them below and I'll be sure to get back to you. You guys have a great day and do some happy Houdini, I guess. All right, bye-bye.